right. So when it comes to goals, I'm a therapist and I'm a coach, right? I'm supposed to be in love with goals. I have never resonated a lot with setting a lot of goals, not personally for myself, not professionally. Now that might surprise people because if you look at my resume, it looks like I have checked off a whole lot of boxes. And a lot of those were goals that I finished and had to go after intentionally. So we certainly have to have some goals. Many people in here would fall into the category, people in Patreon and people who listen to my show and work with me, as having a myriad of mental health diagnoses. But in truth, what most of us have is a complex or compounded PTSD. And what I see with highly sensitive people often is because we're visionaries, okay, because we can see bigger picture, it tends to be a gift that we have. We can sometimes put so much pressure from that critical part of ourselves on ourselves to hit goals or to hit goals like other people that we stress ourselves out. Also, as highly sensitive seekers, we have a rich internal world. Now, the average person, I'm not saying that they don't have any internal world going on at all, but the average person has less of a rich internal world than a highly sensitive person or an introvert. So often our internal goals are not seen by the outside world as being tangible enough to even count as goals. I think that's wildly unfair. So if I look at, well, actually, let me share some things first. This is a graphic I pulled online. This isn't mine. I pulled off of online. This isn't mine that I made. One of the things that I've studied in my career is motivational interviewing and stages of change. Now, this is real basic stuff, y'all. It pisses me off that this is not taught to us in like 5th grade because it's not rocket science. But when we don't know this stuff, this is where we make so many mistakes just because we're ignorant. We just don't know. So what I'm holding is a graphic. It looks like this. It's stages of change. Now, what this says is pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, maintenance. When I was studying this originally, those were all the steps. They have added a relapse, which makes sense because we all relapse. If we're trying to change a behavior or a pattern, we all relapse. So this is a pattern of stages of change or stages of change. Okay. Part of what we struggle with is understanding that this exists. So when we come at this process with this very linear, I need a goal and then I need to hit that goal, we miss these stages of change. Okay. Pre-contemplation is about just this idea, this hunch of, maybe I need to change something. Maybe I need to do a thing. We're pre-contemplating. Contemplation is thinking, it's pondering. So if we're in pre-contemplation, we're just starting to hit on, maybe I need to do a thing. Maybe I need to make a change. Okay. And we stay there for a while. We don't pre-contemplate a change and jump right into the change. We go next into contemplation. And that's when we really start to be more aware that a problem exists and that we really need to do a thing or stop doing a thing. We need to do something to change this dilemma, this problem, this struggle. Okay? Preparation. This is when we're intent upon taking an action, where we have decided, you can hear my poodle chiming in, we have decided in preparation that we're getting ready to make a change. Okay? We're getting ready for it. We're gearing up. We're getting into the mode of being able to do it. And we tend to devalue this. Do you see that? We tend to not count as highly sensitive people, as visionaries who can see into the future of the dominoes that need to happen. We tend to not value the time, the energy, the space that it takes to contemplate, to ponder. I use the word marinate a lot. Maybe that's because I'm a New Orleanian. But we want to marinate in something. We want to sit in it a little while to sort of see what develops. If I'm marinating a steak or a piece of chicken, I want that flavor to really permeate into that meat, right? Well, in pre-contemplation and contemplation and preparation, it's like the change is permeating into us. as we get closer and closer to really cooking that steak, or to making our change. So we go from this pre-contemplation to contemplation to preparation to action. This is an active modification of behavior. Okay. Now, if someone is thinking about working with me and I'm open and available, they might think about that for a while. They might start going, maybe I would work with her one day. The contemplation is, I really resonate with this inner child stuff. Maybe I do need to work with her. Maybe she would be a good person for me to work with, but no commitment to the action yet. Pre-contemplation, I'm intent upon taking the action. Okay, I've decided this person is going to work with me. They've decided. They're in the preparation. When they actually get online to book, they're in the action. Then when they show up for the appointment, they are also in action. Okay? If they do things that I suggest and that we spitball and figure out would be good to try or to experiment with, they're in action. So we are in action. We don't just do one action and yay, the goal. I went to school one day. Here's my degree. Wouldn't that be nice? So we action and we action and we action and we action. And then we get into a maintenance, a sustained change. A new behavior replaces the old. So if we're trying to meditate in the morning, for an example, we go through these stages. We take enough action to become habitual. And at the point at which we're maintaining maintenance, that new change, it starts to become who we are if we maintain it enough. If we slip and we relapse, then we start again. And this is kind of life. And if we don't know this about ourselves, we expect action out of ourselves at this phase and this phase and this phase. So a lot of sensitive people tend to be really frustrated with themselves. They see the goal, they know what it needs to be, but they don't know how to walk themselves through these steps or how to really honor that these are necessary steps. If we don't take these steps before inviting a change, we don't know what the hell we're changing. And that tends to be more impulsive, or we're trying to people please, or we're doing what somebody else thinks we should be doing because we really haven't marinated in it. To be able to be solid about the change that we want.